NetsChat. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I realize I said episode and I think I can't stop saying it because it's episode, but when I'm talking it sounds like really weird, so let me try again. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Look at you, Martin, don't crap us out. We are on our last journey or last lap of Sex Miseducation, and we're gonna make it fun. You know, this is one for the women. I don't know how I'm gonna title it on YouTube so that we don't get demonetized.
Right, yeah.
But it's all about yes, the big O. So yes, guys, it's all about the big O, and the big O is orgasms. If you've had an orgasm, say yeah. If you've never had one, say Jano.
All the men said yeah, unfortunately.
Not even. No, men are going to say yeah, of course. But ladies, specifically, if you've ever had an orgasm, say yeah. If you've never had one, say Jano. And you're going to learn why, even if it's by yourself or with somebody else, you're going to have that orgasm after this episode. Listen keenly. So with me today, I have a very special guest, and this episode has actually been in the making for a really long time now.
From like July?
Yes, from July. And she's just going to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her.
So I'm Shona Lee. So my Twitter is FOSHO_Lee. And Instagram is show.lee. And YouTube is show_Lee. I'm not sure what else. I'm not qualified. There's no paper or anything that says I know what I'm saying here.
Oh yeah, that's very true. We're just two women talking, right? Daniel isn't here with us today, so Daniel will get well soon. She's not sick or anything, but just get well, girl. No, she's not sick. Just girl, get well, so you can come back and be here with the guests, you know, and the audience as well. Anyway, guys, so as I should say, you know, there's nothing on paper to say that we're professionals. We just
little experience.
Yeah. Okay, great. So on Instagram, I had asked if my ladies have ever had an orgasm before. But before I answer that, Shona had made a tweet last year, and this is how the episode came about. So you can tell them a little bit about the tweet that you made.
The first one was you. I think you had tweeted and saying something about women not get orgasms from penetration.
Oh, yes.
So she had asked something like that, and then someone responded and say, "Oh, I've been trying," or something like that. And I said, "Oh, but you can. Let me tell you how." And I said that, and then I said, the person said, "I'll go and DM you." And I DM'd the person, and then somebody said, "Me too." And somebody said, "Me too." And then all of a sudden, there were 50 women in my DMs telling me, asking me to teach them how to orgasm. And then that's when Net and I were like, okay, so this needs to be spoken about because too many women don't know how, and that is sad.
No, it is sad for true, because at the end of the day, I was just saying that women who come from penetration are like my heroes, and they still are my heroes.
Should get a cape.
Because, I mean, it's not going to be every woman, and you can't force yourself to, you know, come from penetration. Well, I'm just going to say I can't force myself to do that. And it depends. You know, we're open and honest podcast. Like, I don't get it from, like, penis, but like fingers, sure, that can work for me. You know,
yeah, it's easier with the fingers because they can position and feel certain things that they can't do with the penis, so it's a bit easier.
That's true. That makes sense.
And then you have some men. Well, the thing is, even if you learn how to orgasm from the other ways, it's easier. It gets easier for you to orgasm from the penis because your body you know the signs, you know what to look for, and then you know how to help yourself get there.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about the signs, because some people actually don't know when they're about to orgasm, and some people it just spring upon them. Well, I would never want an orgasm to just spring upon me because it can happen at any time. Like I just walk down the road and maybe my pants look a bit too tight, and then I just start.
That's funny. That's a theory people have about clit rings.
Funny enough, like my hairdresser was talking about piercing her clit yesterday, and somebody was saying that you literally be walking and you just like come.
No.
And she's like, I don't think that makes sense.
No.
I feel like you pierce your own. Because it just seemed like you're sure. So, but
what I can say is no. There's nothing extra. All happens that when you just do it, your body's not used to anything being there.
Mm-hmm.
So no, there's something there that's always there. And so because there's something always there, your body have to get used to that little sensation. So you might get a little pleasure out of something more, like just walking, it might rub a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to make you orgasm unless you're one of those person that just orgasm so easily, but it's none. And after like maybe the first 2 weeks or so, your body just get used to that thing now being there.
But then like another version of what was like in the conversation yesterday. So apart from somebody saying that she's going to orgasm all the time, someone had said that she'll never orgasm because you take all the feeling out of her clit.
Okay, there's two types. You have the clitoral hood piercing and the clitoral piercing. If you pierce the clitoris itself, it's possible to damage nerve endings and you can't get it. But the most popular one that people actually do that doesn't affect anything is piercing the clitoral hood. So the skin that's over the clit, they pierce it, and so the ball thing like this. So this is right above the clit, this is right below it, and that one won't give you any problems.
That makes sense, because if you watch porn and then the woman have a like pierced clit, she seems like she's still enjoying herself, but like porn is like performative, so you don't really know. But I feel like you can't fake an orgasm. That's intense. I don't know. People be faking orgasms. Me and people be faking it a lot of times. So like I'll be having sex. Well, when I used to have sex without orgasms, and people are like, "Oh, did you orgasm me?" Or sometimes when I want it to end like really quickly, I just be like, I'm going with myself.
I never fake that shit. I said, "No, sir, you did not."
I said,
and then I say, why am I here? Why did I come here? And I will say that to him. I remember one time this guy was like, "Jeez, I'm the girl vexing me, because I was like, no, and I didn't like. Why did I wasted my whole time? Why am I here?
No, I'm that person. No, like no, if I don't get anything, I'm just like, No,
I was always like that. It used to be funny to me because I remember before I was even getting orgasms, there was this guy and he was like, "Yo, every woman we link." Da, 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 da. I was like, okay, cool. And eventually time passed and me and him got together. And I was so overjoyed to message him the following day and say, "Oh, by the way, you're going to have to adjust your stats because it's not every woman. You did not." And I was overjoyed to tell him that. I've always been like, no.
I feel like women should deteriorate men's ego when it comes on to sex. Deterioration is the best way, because I had sex with this guy once and it was so bad, right? Like nothing about it was good. And I said to him, like, "You're having sex like that with women?" He's like, "Yeah, nobody has ever complained." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to be the first." And I told him everything that was wrong and he sat down and looked at me like, he's like, "Why are you so mean?" I'm like, "I'm not mean. I'm literally being realistic and I don't feel like I should be having sex with you. You get to come and I just sit down here and like a piece of board." I
always tell them, there was this guy, I remember before me talk about him, ex used to come 8 times and this and whatever. And we're about to have sex. First of all, it was like this. And I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. I swear to God, it was about this. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean woman was coming 8 times? I was like, maybe he know what to do with it. But then he didn't. It's bad. This is how, like, I had to give a hand job. I'm not I'm not laughing at that guy. I promise you. And so I had to, so after that, and then I called my friend. I was sitting beside him and I called my friend. And he said, "What's coming on?" I was like, "We just tried to have sex and it was bad." And he was like, "Wait, what? Where is he?" I said, "He's beside me." It was like, because there's this guy, like, he was known to be kind of a hothead. And I've gone, he's like, "Jesus, I'm going to kill you, Jesus Christ." Because then I talk to you, I'm going to kill you. I don't even feel bad. That was not my business.
Wow, no, sir. You know what? I'm not even going to get into men and them ego because I will not stop talking.
Well, I've never, from I started having orgasms, I will tell you straight, I've never faked one.
That's really good. Shout out to all the women who has never faked one. But like, What was your first experience with the orgasm? Like the first time I ever had one. Like, how did you feel?
Had one from sex or from myself?
Both.
Okay, so the first one from myself. Funny enough, I learned how at the nurse's office. There was a poster at our day in the nurse's office at the door that spoke about it. And it says, oh, this is what you do. So them said, just you rub the clitoris and whatever. So I was at the nurse waiting for something and I read the sign. And then like the following week, I was homesick or something and decided to watch porn. But I never did anything before. I used to just look at it and then that was it. And I was watching it, I was like, let me try the thing that I saw on the poster. And I tried it and then, because that's how you don't have no idea what it feel like. And it started, it's like, oh, this must be it. That was my first one. I was about 12. I think it was maybe grade 8.
12?
Yeah, because I read the thing on the door. So if it wasn't for the thing on the door, I probably wouldn't have tried like any time after that.
That makes sense.
But it's the thing on the door I read. Because you see porn and you see them, but you have no idea what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it says, because I read the thing on the door, maybe say, okay, because I used to just watch porn and just watch it and do it. We used to just watch porn. Okay, I was pitney, T-Fort and WhatsApp. I used to just watch it and just look. And then so I was watching it and I got turned on. I said, oh, let me try the thing that was on the poster. And then there was.
Okay. And with sex?
With sex now. So I had been, because I think I got my first one I was about 21 and I was having sex when I was 18. So at that point I had decided, okay, I guess I'm not one of those persons that's going to come from sex. So I was like, I guess I'm just not one of those women and that's fine. And then I was having sex with my boyfriend and I felt this feeling like almost like I wanted to pee, which is a problem that happens to women. They feel that sensation and they run away from it. But we'll still get into that. But so I felt it, but he never continued doing the position. I wasn't sure, so I wouldn't have said, keep doing that. So we never did it. After we're done, I was like, oh, you remember that position when I did sound like I was going to cry or whatever? I think it was near. And then so funny enough, when we got together, he said to me, oh, you've never come before. That is going to be my mission. I'm going to do it. And it's funny, for the nothing special. It was just this position. And so we did it again and he stayed in that position and I came. And so after a while, no, it had to be that position only that he could make it, me come in. And I think after coming in that position all the time, my body started to learn now. And I started to learn to look for the signs, to coach myself there. And then that's how it ended up being in different positions. Men broke up and other guys could do it. Well, it wasn't all of them at the time. That was everybody at the time. As I got older and I guess more experience with it, it became easier for me too. Because right now, I can have sex that's not the best. So it's not bad, it's just not the best. And I can still come.
Must be nice. No, I'm just thinking about it must be nice because for me, the first time, I was having sex for a minute and I'm like, this is what people say it is. I always thought it was good. I always thought it was good. So that was different because some people say without the orgasm, and I always thought it was good. I just never got that extra moment. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, the sex wasn't bad enough. Sometimes I had some really, really good sex, and then when it done, I'm just like,
because I don't get no, yeah.
I just don't feel anything afterwards. Okay, maybe my body broke. That's what I was saying, and I was like, all right. So I started Googling how do I know when I'm having an orgasm?
There's no doubt.
The thing is, at the time, I was really, really young.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I start Google, and I'm reading everything, and it's like, all right, cool. So then, one time the guy I was talking to was fingering me, and my foot start shake, and I'm like, what is happening? And then my entire body started shaking. No, I say, huh. I was like,
so did you lean into it or did you run away from it?
The thing is, I thought I wanted to pee. Yeah. Right? So I got up and I was like, oh my God, I need to use the bathroom. He's like, what? Right now?
Yeah. So that is what happens. I've had friends ask me about it, and I'm like, you see that feeling where you feel like you're going to pee? That is it. You have to lean into it. So there's a lot of women, they can do it, but because they've never had it before, they never felt that sensation, they think it's it. So my advice to them is to make sure you pee before, so you know your bladder is empty. So you get that sensation, you know it's not going to be
But how do
pee.
you lean into it though?
The thing is, you feel like you want to pee. You feel it, and because you're having sex, you don't let it happen. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to move or trying to stop that. But whenever you feel it, you embrace it. Part of leaning into it is you have to masturbate to know what it feels like to get yourself there. So it's partially a mind game to, which is for me, because I know how to, I can dictate the kind of orgasm I have. I can say, okay, I want one where I let it happen and it feel like wilder is the word, or I can lean into it and make it feel more intense, because I know how to coach myself there and how to make it happen in a certain way. But you have to masturbate so you know for yourself. Somebody else can make you come if you can make yourself do it.
Okay. That makes sense.
You have to lean into it. So that is why my tip to them is always, you masturbate and you will start to get used to the signs and you will know what to look for, and then you can coach yourself there, as opposed to, like, mentally you can just focus on whatever as opposed to just being there. And so you have to masturbate, although you can actually masturbate too much and cause a problem. Well, if you masturbate, that's the whole thing. If you masturbate, don't masturbate too much to porn. There's a whole condition around that. Because you'll get it's not, they call it erectile dysfunction because men mostly have it. Although I guess most women aren't talking about it. But they masturbate to porn so much that their mind is so used to porn, which is performative and exciting or whatever, that when it comes to sex now, because sex is just regular, the regular thing will turn them on and they can't get stiff. So it happens with women too, that you won't get wet because you masturbate to the porn where you see the best man body and do this. Or if you know, because a lot of women are into lesbian porn, even though they're not lesbians, they might see the girl and it's so hot and whatever. And so now them masturbate to them special kind of porn with the woman with the perfect tits and the perfect this and the perfectly colored vagina without hyperpigmentation or whatever. And so now them see a regular woman, and you don't get wet or you don't stand up. So that's a problem. So don't do it to porn, but masturbate yourself, learn it. So you have to do it yourself. Look for the cues, you feel your body getting this. You say, okay, I'm close. So I can tell too, before having an orgasm, I can know, even before I've had it, that it won't be a very strong one. Because I know the signs now.
That's true. That makes sense, because I feel like if you do it a lot and do it enough, not a lot, I'm going to say enough.
Enough, you will know what to look for.
You will know what to look for. You'll know, say, all right, yeah, man, it's
So just like how you feel the sensation and you say, oh, I know I want to pee, I know I need to poo, like you will feel the sensation and say, I know I'm getting there. So it's kind of that. So there's a whole connection. Just like how, you know, you want to pee and then you have to go to the bathroom and mentally allow yourself to pee. You can say, okay, go now. It's the same kind of thing.
But the thing is, I've tried to like mentally allow myself to pee, put pee in quotes during sex. Because like, I just empty my bladder. I know it's not. But then I'm like, it still feels so much like pee.
Yeah, you just have to let it happen.
It took a really long time for me to say, all right.
Yeah, you just have to let it happen. Because the first time I thought it, and then he was like, yeah, that's it. Because remember him saying was going, that's it. And next time I decided, okay, to let it happen. Because I had a friend, she went through that. She's like, but I'm so scared. I'm like, well, is your boyfriend, you trust him? And he says he's fine. Because I was friend with the guy as well. And he said he's been saying to her, yo, just do it. If you piss, it's fine.
Yeah, if it's pee.
Yeah, so he said that to
Make
her.
sure it's a man though.
Because they were comfortable with each other. He's like, if you pee, it's fine. Just make it happen. And so eventually she finally just let it happen. So you just have to do that. You're going to have the sensations. It might be scary. So to save yourself, to relax your mind, pee first, empty your bladder. You know that it's not peeing there. And then you make it happen.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Guys, write that down.
And you will feel the positions too that do it. So you will feel the positions that trigger it in you. So sometimes you know that a certain person, if them put it on this side, then you know versus putting it on this side, like the positions. So all that, I can say to myself, even though this feels good, this position feels good, I know it's not hitting where it needs to be. I know it won't give me an orgasm. So you have to be comfortable. So part of it too is mental. Although as you get older, more experience, well, depending on the kind of person you are. Because some people don't need that much of a mental connection anymore. For me, I don't really need that much mental connection. I guess depending on what kind of relationship it is. But like, I had somebody I used to link like on and off for like years, even before I was having sex. I would link on and off for maybe 8 years. And in the 8 years, he made me come one time. Why? Because we had like, there was actually an emotional connection, but there was always some drama. Because I said it was on and off. Always something. And there was just one time we were good for a while with no drama. And that's the one time he made me come. So sometimes a lot of it is mental. So you have to be comfortable with the person too, which is why that part is important. Because if you're scared of peeing, because this person is going to react a certain way, you're not going to let it happen.
I think it's mostly mental, because like sometimes you can say, okay, you're having the orgasm now, and you can stop it. And well, for me, I can do that. So if I don't want to, like, orgasm right now, I'm say, all right, no. And if I want to say, all right, I want it to come faster,
Right.
I can do it. But it's really a mental thing. And I remember, like, I was talking to one of my friends when I was in UAE, and my friend was like, you don't masturbate? And I'm like, ew, why would I masturbate? He's like, but you watch porn? And I'm like, yeah. So he's like,
So you watch it and just turn on and just do the nothing?
Yeah, and he's like, so you just watch it and then move on? You don't like get wet or anything? And I'm like, yeah, I do. At first, the first time I got wet from watching porn, I was like, this is so weird. What's happening?
What is happening?
Right? At the time, I was like 12, 13. So I was like so surprised. And I started masturbating when I was like 19, 20. Because my friend cussed me out and was saying that if you can't like make yourself orgasm, how would you know?
Yeah, you have to know
what you're missing out on.
You have to know. You have some lucky women. Like I had a friend, like the first time she had sex, she's like, oh, I was at UA, and cause she come and she talks to him about it. Cause she was like, a year below me, and it was her first time having sex, and then she was, asked for advice and whatever, and then she come the following day, hey, we did that, we came together. I was like, this time that I wasn't coming, I was like, lucky bitch.
That's
the first time they came together, like in the books, in the movies.
Man, some of them. I'm jealous. Like me, when it comes to like orgasms, I'm kind of bad man, because how can you just freely do something like this and me just over here with my like a nasty self a struggle?
Yeah, like I can delay it in a certain way and time to make sure like I come with him.
No, I'm not coming nobody. No. Who come first win? I'm not coming nobody.
Well, first, it's not even, but who come first? Because for me right now, if I don't come 3 times, I didn't have sex.
Who come the most win then? So let me just, for her.
So guys, if I don't come like 3 times, I will say I'm not done. And so if you come and you're done, you have to finger me, because I'm going to tell you I'm not done, because I know you still at least 3.
Wow. So the first time I had an orgasm from masturbating, it was like the most eye-opening thing. And I mean eye-opening, my eye then pop open.
Yeah, that's why I tell you the same thing. I was like, oh, this thing.
Yeah, and then my mind just got like really clear. And then I was like... So I asked some women on Instagram what it's like for them. And so this girl says heaven on earth. I love that. This girl says she only orgasm when she masturbates, like not with men. And so it's really good. And somebody says an outer body experience for her. This girl says she don't know how to describe it. Somebody says her soul leave her body. And somebody said breathtaking.
Yeah, I have some orgasms where I feel like when I give the man the house, the people them for the house.
I mean, I have to think about it. You see, the thing is, me thinky. So this girl said she's never had an orgasm. She's 21 now. She's been having sex for a minute, and she has never had an orgasm.
No,
and
she needs to fix that.
Somebody asked them something they still keep, because she said she just stopped orgasm. She just stopped. That doesn't make no sense. I don't know, because
she needs to let that man go.
That's true. Like, you have to let them man go, because you have men out there who will make you orgasm, but you also have to know when and how you orgasm as well. So it's like, for me, I have orgasms that are so intense that I go deaf, like for like a second or 10. I can't hear nothing.
Those are fun.
I have some where my eyes roll back, and I have one, and it's so bad that I fell off my bed. Oh, you toe curl, Martin? What? I've only had one toe curling experience.
I've one time, like I was masturbating, I was watching porn, and I would show the phone.
No, I've had one of those. Yeah, you cannot hold on to your phone. You just get weak, like your body just turn out.
I threw that phone.
I ain't make no sense, because like sometimes when I'm talking to like guys and they're like, oh, masturbate, let me see a video. I'm like, no. And they're like, why? I'm like, because how am I going to show you something? I'm going to get all over this. So you probably start watch it, and then next thing you know, say you seen my tiles. That doesn't make sense.
Set up a tripod.
No, I'm not doing for no man. I'm not giving no man them kind of pleasure to see me on no video. You're crazy. If you want some kind of video, you watch my NetsChat YouTube. Great. But I've had one, and I think it was my most embarrassing like orgasm, because I started drooling. Like, I don't know what was happening. I just laid and I was just shaking, and then I just barely spit around into my mouth, and I'm just like, I'm embarrassed Like, this is embarrassing, but it was so good.
I think the only thing that's so embarrassing for me in that way is that I say, "Oh my God, I love you," and then I don't have to be like, So you remember when I say, I never mean it to hear. Like I've had to do that like 2 or 3 times.
That's why I say it's really like a mental thing for me, because I'm going to think about all the things, but the thing is, it make you tired. You've orgasm on tired before?
Listen, when the first one that made me come, when he got used to it, he used to make me like, I've had to beg him to stop because it was too much. Because like I remember one time we're going, he was making me come like 6 times.
No, man.
And I was like, please stop. Like tears are running. My body not have no more. Please stop. I can't do no more. My body is done. I'm ball at this point. Those are fun. The ones that make you cry.
Yeah, the one where you have to beg them for stop?
No, not even the one the biggest stuff. The one them where it's so intense, they're just tears. You've never had that?
No, I've cried during sex because sex just feels nice, but I've never like had an orgasm where I'm crying.
When I say cry, I mean cry. I mean it done. I'm gonna say and I am bawling. And I've had those where I'm done, I'm a cry. I'm just lie down there and bawl. What happened to you? No.
This girl said in my Instagram responses that the first time she had an orgasm, she actually got an asthma attack because it was so intense.
I've had something like that.
No,
my chest tight. I'm going to go out and drink water.
Since I'm the dude here, I just wanted to point out something you guys were talking about earlier about the whole masturbating to porn can throw off all the stuff.
Yeah.
Just for the dudes, I'm gonna just educate y'all. When you masturbate, there's a thing called death grip syndrome, which occurs from how much force you're squeezing your meat with.
Because they're very tight.
Yeah, so because of how much force you're grabbing that with, the vagina will never be able to simulate that. Yeah. So you therefore have desensitized your ability to have good sex. Like you won't be as...
It won't be as good because you're used to this tightness, and even whatever the tight in the vagina is, it's just not going to get that tight.
Exactly. So watch out for that, gentleman, because you're just going to be jumping and juking, and the girl them going to hate you.
It won't be enough for you.
Sex is so complicated. Like, how are people not learning about sex on the regular? There's always something new to learn about sex, you know? Wow.
I think sometimes it's just taboo, and then like when all the responses, women were my DMs, one of them, she was just like, so part of it's a societal thing. She was like, oh, a man tell her, say, she can masturbate too much. And so the next thing, because a lot of men, the patriarchy does not like when you are comfortable with your body. Mm-hmm. And so there are a lot of these myths that are out there, put out there. So this man told her that she mustn't masturbate too much. And so she don't really do it. She don't really know how to make herself come because she hasn't done it enough because of this fear that this man put in her head. So there's another thing.
It was mean, like, period.
So there's that as well. And so that is part of why people don't know all this information, and a lot of women are scared to say to the men that they're not coming, you need to do this instead, you need to do that instead, because of how it's set up where the man is supposed to get the pleasure. Because really and truly, for you to have a child, is the man just supposed to come. Mm-hmm. The woman doesn't need to come, all it makes it easier. The woman doesn't need to come. And so because of that, it's set up that the pleasure is for the men. And then, of course, society, them not really want women to feel comfortable. That's like how them did uproar the other day about WAP. So it's that kind of thing. And so women a lot of them just take it and it's okay. And them don't know that it's not supposed to be like this. Like I've read where women say them come the first time in their life, they're 41. And it's because they remarried them new husband. They care that much for make sure it happens.
Yeah, a lot of men don't care that if women get an orgasm or not, them just want to know so them come. And that's very selfish.
Yeah, my brother was telling me last night, I'm a virgin, you say, from I get my ducks, from my ducks, that's it. I don't care.
For them women, for me. And don't have sex with selfish men. You have some men, them not gonna stop have sex until you, until you come.
Yeah, I have had that.
I've had my fair share of those men.
I've had
and
those
if they don't know, like at first, they try to learn. I mean, I say, if the man wants to sis and like he really care about stuff like that, he will learn for you. To be honest,
some of them is not necessarily wanting you. Some of them
want you.
Not that part. They want to for their ego. So it's not even about you. It's that they want to be able to say, yeah, man, I make she come. Just like I don't know, tell me, yeah, I make every girl come and be like, no, no, sweetie. So some of them is the ego. They want to know that they made you come. So them can say, yeah, man, make even if them don't walk and tell nobody, but them can say to themselves, yeah, man, make her come 2 times, make she come 3 times, make she come how much time. Like, the one who tell me, say, make him X come 8 times. When me, him couldn't even come, maybe come minus time. So, yeah.
But that's the thing, men don't know that it's different for everybody. Like, a lot of men don't know it's different. So them just do, this work for this girl, so I'm going to do it to everybody else that I have sex with. And I was saying to somebody the other day that if a man have sex with 10 women and him do the same thing for the 10 women and all of them come, why do you feel like the 11th woman is going to be the same exact thing?
That's it, because the 10th woman, and that's the thing, women need to speak up. And then, as I said, for like somebody like me, he can do something that's lackluster, but because I know now too, I can come. So I can come multiple times, and the sex wasn't the most exciting. So because the woman come, in him head it was good. Like, that's it was great. I don't need to improve. When I'm not thinking about the fact that she could have had something much more intense. So there's that. Then, as we said, the women are not speaking up. As you say, you're faking. A lot of women out there faking. They're not speaking up. They're not saying when the man start, they're not saying, no, put on this side. Go over there, so instead, no, switch. Them not doing it.
I think it's because a lot of them don't know. Because they're not masturbating.
But not even it's not even just to get to the orgasm. If you're just doing it, some of them, they're doing it and it just don't feel good to them. Or as good, and them don't say nothing. Or something feel good and he move, and instead of saying no, go back right there, they're not saying anything.
They're not saying anything. They just let the man do it. And I think like sex is a conversation and sex is communication. So if you want to get the best out of it and to orgasm and stuff, then you really have to communicate and make people know what's happening, because the man can't read their mind, to be honest. And even if you feel like he's not going to listen to you, you don't know until you try. And if him don't listen, you move on to somebody else. Then why are you
there? Why are you there? Pack up your pussy and go.
That's what I'm gonna leave with. Pack up your front and go. I'm not gonna say that word. I'm a decent person. But I feel like people also need to have new experiences, because when I wasn't like having orgasms with men, I was like, maybe I'm not gonna have sex with man. So I tried to.
Yeah, which is why I had this. I was like, I guess I'm one of those women that just not going to from sex.
Yeah, like sometimes people feel like that, but then, because like one of the responses that I got, this girl was saying that she was having sex with men and she wasn't like experiencing orgasms, and then she started having sex with women, and she said her first orgasm, and she's like, well, that's it. No, like, can't go back to a man.
Well, part of it is that women have one, so they know what to do with it. So that's part of it. Although still women are different, them just have a little more know-how about it too. Sometimes it's not, well, for some women, it's not necessarily because of what the woman did. It's because this is new, exciting thing.
That's
and
true.
They're much more excited. They're more turned on by it.
So
and
it's
that's
easier
easier for the woman to do it.
That's true. I remember, I think it was like my first time having sex with a woman, and I had an orgasm that was so bad that I saw myself. So like I was over there, my spirit was over there, so looking at me physically
and saying,
having an orgasm, and it's like I saw everything that was happening, and I'm saying this is probably the most intense thing to ever happen to me, because I'm like, how am I seeing myself having an orgasm?
Out about the experience, yeah.
Yeah, because like when I look, like my body it looked like it's a level, like it's coming up. You know when you're high and your body like a rise?
Yeah.
It was literally an orgasm, and I'm like, I felt like a demon was coming out of me.
Because I remember I had a virgin. I was telling that I don't come from head, and he's like, best if a woman give you, you'll come from head.
You don't come from head? That's so surprising.
I think no. Well, I guess if there are fingers involved, it will make it easier.
Oh, you're more of a penetration.
Yeah, I'm more penetration. Okay. So I can still make myself come from the clitoris, or he can make me come from the clitoris, but the head alone is not enough for me. It's possible, it has happened a few times, but it's not my go-to. So for me, head is a nice foreplay, but it don't really do much for me. And so I'm one of the few women I know actually that I don't need to be a guy that gives head. So, I mean, it's a nice addition, don't get me wrong. It's nice to start it, but it doesn't do that much for me, where I'm one of those women that say, no, you need to do it, cause
I'm one of those women, if you're not giving me, I don't want to.
Yeah, because it do that much for you. It doesn't do that much for me.
Because, like,
I'm the type that be like, okay, stop that now. Where is the penis?
As in, if the head is like, you don't have to complete it. Like sometimes it's so good, I'm gonna say, yeah, man, I just want penis now. So I'm kind of like both, but I really want it because like sometimes, I'm not going to like orgasm unless like I get head first and then they reach a point and then I'm like, all right, yeah, man, we're almost there. So you can just continue this other way. And I was like, all right, cool. And then a lot of times, like in most recent times, I orgasm before I actually even start having sex. So then me feel good. And then I'm just going to want to continue because I'm already like, I'm a peak. Already on this high horse and, riding this wave. So let's move on with it. But a lot of things, sorry.
Some women that cause a problem. Because when you come, it gets more wet. It gets more liquid. And when I get more liquid, it's less lubrication. And so that is why I felt. Someone will tell you women feel drier after or less lubricated after they've come. Because the cum makes it more liquid. So for some women that wouldn't work because they can feel drier and it made the experience not as good.
No, man, I'm talking for myself, guys. Sorry.
But I'm telling them that for some women they might have a problem with that because the more liquid and it do. So of course, women different. So for you, maybe it's not that like that. But in general, it's a bit more liquid and because of that, it lubricates less because I guess it just running or doing whatever. And so women start to feel drier after. A little bit dry. So sometimes, of course, it's not dry that is a problem. It's bad, but it's not as easy.
Okay. No, I feel like when I orgasm, I'm wetter, which is weird. Because I feel
you get wetter, you still release it, but because it's thinner, it's not maybe, I guess, sticking and staying to do. Yeah, it's just moving.
Nah, your girl's an ocean. Sorry, guys. But the thing with a lot of women is it takes a really long time for some women to like orgasm. I'm some woman because I don't know, my body's weird. So sometimes we'll take like 5 minutes, sometimes we'll take 45 minutes, sometimes we'll take an hour. And I think it depends on your mood, what the person is doing definitely, as well.
Definitely. So there are a lot of men, it's not that the sex is bad, they're just not starting properly, and because she's not turned on enough, no matter what you do, it's not going to get there because she's just not in that mode. So some of them, the motions they're doing, the positions, everything is fine, but because you never prime her enough, she's just not in that mode. And no matter what you do, you have to. So it's basically you have to flick on the switch first.
Yeah.
And so them don't do enough to start, and so they end up with that problem. And no matter what them do, and it's frustrating. She now come and do this. You have to do something for that. You can't just go fling.
No, they do it. So. But the thing is, you have some women, and I'm some women. So you have women who will literally just see the person that they want to have sex with, and then just like turn on. They manipulate nothing.
No, yeah, sometimes that's fine. Sometimes I'm tell people say me can't do it nobody. Me have to see you and just want to climb you. That is how I have to feel. But sometimes you just have, and I guess, for example, if you're around the woman, somebody don't see her with you for a few hours, me kind of down. So, me calm, and then if you just come, so it might not. Especially as the relationship progresses and time passes. So even though you're still yes for this person, you just don't get as excited. So you have to look at something first for flick the switch before you start.
Okay, Martin.
I just turned in a 2 cents because you have some man who will, while you guys are spitting facts, them will listen to it because it's coming from a woman for some strange reason or whatever. The more comfortable a woman is with you, the easier everything is.
Every single thing.
Literally. And here's the thing, let me just throw a caveat out for the gentlemen. You have some man out there who nice and end up quote unquote friend zoning themselves, and then they're like, oh, nice man. Be honest and upfront with your intentions, but don't be a creep. And the more comfortable you make her around you, one, the easier everything will be, and two, she won't come back because it was a good experience. And then you get more time to learn her body, and it gets better. So, man, them just shut up and listen. I promise you, it's some way easier. Some of them don't want to come back.
They just so
they just want the one thing.
Yeah, like I don't understand how you do all this effort and put in to get the woman, and then you get it one time and say, yeah, true. Like, it's still sex.
I think just men just want to say, I still hit though. Hit what? My cervix? Like, what are you talking about? But I feel like some men do wonder why women don't want to have sex with them again. And it's literally because they aren't even trying. They really aren't trying. Them just are...
Yeah, so it's just so many things because them trying the sex not good, or them never do enough foreplay first, or just even like the surroundings. Like maybe you should talk about this part, Martin, to tell them that, as you said, the comfort. So sometimes she come into the room, she like you, and she come into the room dirty, the room look away, and she see the Burger King bag over there, so
and your dirty jaws in the corner.
yeah, and then she's just
I'm
like, I'm not
that
comfortable
bad.
here. No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying tell the man.
No, I'm joking out loud. I'm just like, I'm not that bad because I'm a little messy. But man, them, she come into here to link you, right? You walk into a room or an office or whatever for some kind of purpose, and the place fuck up. You immediately don't take it seriously or don't want to be there. It's the same thing. The way I like to describe things for people is, because I've come to realize asking people to have empathy for others isn't super known anymore. So just think of yourself. Be selfish for a second. Would you want to go to the girl's house and everything dirty and throw about the place?
Somebody them don't care. Them go there for pum pum.
Yeah, some men really don't care, you know?
All right, now you see those men, which I acknowledge exist, I can't talk to. I'm trying to save my brothers who want to learn here. You know what I'm saying? Effort. Here's the thing. The room might not even be perfect or spotless or whatnot, but you've put effort into it, and she can tell you've put effort into it, and she will appreciate the effort.
Yeah. And even if it needs to necessarily be tidy, but just don't look dirty. She's not going to want to be in a dirty room. So let us say the teen and fling about the place, but I'm not seeing a dust. I'm not seeing a stain on the sheet. I feel more comfortable. So not even, sometimes not with the effort, but just that I feel comfortable being in its bed now. Man, I still don't glad I'm for lay one sheet on the bed there. What
like,
for do?
I don't want to cut you at this.
Right, that kind of
Boom, bang, bang, guys. Just a little bit of effort goes a long way. I promise you. You know, have to scrub off all of your wall them. But straighten up the damn bed and dash for anything where they bought the place. Just make the room. If your mother walk in the room, she's supposed to get walk in the room and go, and don't have nothing to complain about. If it's that clean or that level of put together, I promise you won't have problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. This has been a very insightful chat. I'm gonna ask. Like, I feel like everybody has learned something. I mean, everybody watching, of course, and they might go take notes, but we have to wrap it up because actually I forgot somewhere. But let's just
wait, one question about the ones, because I think you had to ask them, women, have you ever had an orgasm? How much of them said no, they haven't? And how much said yes? Because that's next thing, people are surprised.
I was very surprised to see more yes than no's. So I can actually
the thing is, a lot of them,
no's.
because some of them might see, because it's a no, them probably don't bother saying nothing. That's the next thing.
That's true. But you have some women who said no, but a lot of them said yes. And some women say, not all the time, but sometimes. And I appreciate it. I've heard honest people on my Instagram, them like engaging with the content and stuff. But I just want to give, final tips to women who said no, because it's not that they can't orgasm, or some women think they can't, but you can. It's just probably not the right person.
Say what you want.
Yeah, you're not saying what you want.
Say,
and
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid to tell him to do something, you shouldn't be with him. You shouldn't be doing anything. Even if it's not a relationship, just having sex, you shouldn't having this sex with this person you can't talk to.
That's true. You can't be having sex with somebody that you actually can have a conversation with.
And Mandem, when she gives you corrections, pointers, or guidance, park the ego.
Don't vex.
Park the ego.
Don't vex.
It's not about you.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not something you're
her.
not. It's not necessarily something you're doing bad. It's just where fear spot there. Like I
Boom.
have to say, go on that side. It's not that you're doing it bad. It's just
It's not like you studied for the exam. You take the exam and you fail the exam. You are doing a completely new adventure. Listen to the guide points. Everything will get better from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if men actually listen and do what the specific woman tell them to do, I think
everybody can see here between the two of us is two different types. So you might be having sex with the two of us, and so what me like she like from being here, here we talk about the different thing between the two of us. So some women are just like that. I have a friend, she can come from a man just playing with her nipples.
I don't like that.
And then I have a friend
jealous.
And then I have a friend, and I like it. I have a friend, she say him can twist it, fling it like it does nothing for her. Her breast, it do nothing. So women are just different.
Yeah, I have a friend who, if you put it in her butt, she'll come. Like,
Well, them said that it's supposed to be a thing because medically, physically, it's a thing that can happen.
But we're saying everybody is different. If somebody puts something in my butt, me no say.
So nobody's putting anything in my butt but the doctor. But a doctor, if let
me just look away
for colon or whatever. But yes, some women like that and they're going to come from that and whatever. But women are
and you have women
different.
who come from giving head, you know. Like I have a friend who does that. When she gives head, she literally orgasms, and it's so insane. So guys,
I think that turned me on more than even getting it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment. So guys, there are many ways you can orgasm. It's not like one set or standard way. As you have learned here, like if you never learned that, then don't have sex. Like, to be honest, I don't think you should be having sex. Thank you so much to Shona for coming in. Thank you to Martin for chiming in. You know, I'm going to put all of Shona's link down below. You can subscribe to her channel, subscribe to Martin's channel, and you can subscribe to NetsChat. All links will be down below. Follow all of us on social media. And guys, I really wanted to come back and say, Nets, you made me have an orgasm, to be honest. Thanks.